Hey, it's Anthony Olympia with Six String Country. In this lesson, we're working on Living and Fast Forward, a song recorded by Chesney. It was written by David Lee Murphy and Rivers Rutherford. On the rhythm lesson, we're going to be working with some key of A chords and simple strum patterns. And then in the electric lesson, it's going to be some pretty cool rockin' bluesy guitar country licks.
Body's a temple, that's what we're taught. I treated this one like an old honky tonk. Greasy cheeseburgers and cheap cigarettes. One day they'll get me if they ain't got me yet. 'Cause I'm living fast forward, hillbilly rock star out of control. I'm living fast forward, now I need to rewind real slow. My friends all grew up, they settled down. Built nice little houses on the outskirts of town. They work in their office, drive SUVs. They play for their babies and they worry about me. 'Cause I'm living fast forward, hillbilly rock star out of control.
So here we are at the rhythm lesson for Living and Fast Forward. We're going to be working with some chords in the key of A, with the A chord, the D chord, the E chord, the G chord, which you'll find like a lot if we're in the key of A, like add some rock and roll, and also one that happens later on in the song, a B major power chord, or a bar, kind of a major chord there. So let's get started. It actually goes in that order of the first three I played. Let's start with the strum pattern. The intro strum pattern is kind of like the main one. It'll come again in the chorus, and then solo and the bridge, and in the outro. So we'll tackle that one first, that main strum pattern. And it is down, up, down, up, down, up. And that'll be one measure. Okay? So those are the two strumming patterns. Now let's talk about the chord progression. It's almost the same progression the whole song. There are a few little differences here and there, so we'll just kind of try to tackle it one piece at a time. Starting off with the intro, starts on an A, goes to a D, into an E, briefly goes to a D real quick, and back to the A. So that'll be one time through like the intro, outro progression. So strumming the main strumming pattern on the first three chords, one measure at a time. And then right here, when it's a D and A in the same measure, it's going to be down, up, and the next up stroke is going to be on the A chord. So you need to switch in that little pause you have there. I'm sorry. Right, because it keeps strumming on this pattern. So here we are at the lead lesson for Living and Fast Forward. Let's talk about the tone real quick. I'm using my bridge pickup the whole song. I want to keep it nice and bright. The gain's going to be a medium-high gain, if you can get that. So let's just dive right in with the intro. I'm going to kind of put this in two different parts, intro 1 and intro 2. Intro 1 starts off with a riff that's kind of in pairs of strings, and the same figure kind of bounces around a little bit. It's kind of that take it down a string, and then go up with the low E. So that's kind of where we're starting off here. So let's just dig into that. Open A, I'm palm muting those. Then I'm doing an octave up, the D string, 7th fret, 7th fret of the A, 5th fret of the D, and then 7th fret of the D. And it's the same exact thing, just down one string. So open D, 7th fret of the G, 7th fret of the D, 5th fret of the G, 7th fret of the D. And I'm giving a little vibrato there at the end, just extra character. You know, it's up to you how that works. It definitely makes it rock a little more. And then last time you use this part, low E first, twice. 7th fret of the A, 7th fret of the E, 5th fret of the A, 7th fret of the A. And then we kind of get into the double string, double stop stuff going on. So here we are at the solo for Living and Fast Forward. Quick talk about the tone. I'm using the same thing I did, the same settings for all the rest of the song. If you've got a boost pedal, you want to hit it to make sure you kind of bump up above the volume of the rest of the band. Otherwise, we'll stick with the same tone. So let's get started. We're kind of working with pentatonic blues stuff. And then sort of shifting up into other spots. Let's get started. Starting off here with the bend, 7th fret of the G and the 8th fret of the B. Play them together and bend the G string up a whole step. And then both strings together. Total of 7 times. On the 7th time, bring the bend back down. You're going to hold that whole time, the 7th downstroke, bend it back down, 5th fret of the G, and then 7th fret of the G, 7th fret of the D, 5th fret of the G, bend up a half step. So the next thing is the 7th fret of the D, open D. Then I'm going to hit the 7th fret of the B, bend it up a whole step. And then 5th fret, 6th fret, 7th fret real fast on the E string. Hit the 7th fret again of the B, bend it up a whole step. Then I have the 5th fret of the B, 7th fret of the B, 5th fret. That's that measure. Next measure is 8th fret, bend up a half step of the B, 5th fret of the E, 8th fret of the B, 5th fret, 7th fret of the G, bend up a whole step, and then 5th fret of the B. And then you want to get your first finger down to the G string real quick to do a half step bend on the G string, 5th fret. And then it's kind of just a little throwaway note here, the open G string, right? So that's the first half of the solo. Let's take a look at that slowly, right? I'll count us off and we'll get into it. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and...